Gentlemen, kindly remove your hats as we honor America, the men and women of our military, and our first responders with the playing of our national anthem.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to River Forest, Illinois on the Cougar Sports Network. I'm CJ Sellner. So glad you could join us here for an action on a Monday afternoon, a cloudy day that started off sunny. It was up in the mid-50s earlier. It's already dropped down to roughly 46 degrees as we get set for NECC play between the Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the visiting St.Norbert Green Knights. Cougars come into this one 5-9 overall after dropping a pair of games yesterday in Milwaukee to MSOE. St. Norbert comes in 4-8 overall, 1-1 in NACC play. They split a pair of games with Aurora yesterday. They won the opener of that series with Aurora by a score of 10-7. They scored 5 runs in the bottom of the ninth, including a 3-run walk-off homer. Game 2 then was all Aurora as the NACC preseason favorites picked up the win. Let's meet your defense for Concordia here in game 1 of our doubleheader today. In the outfield, it'll go Dewey, Hickman, Maynard from left to right. Across your infield, it's Crater, Sandoval, Jacob Mariotti from third to first. Colton Wallace behind the dish, and it will be the right-hander, the senior Zach Litke on the hill for Concordia. Litke comes into today with a 1-1 overall record and a 6.59 ERA. Making his 4th start of the year, he's worked 13 2/3 innings, allowed 18 hits, 14 runs, 10 of those being earned. He has 7 walks to 14 strikeouts. Opponents batting .333 against him. So glad you could join us here. It will be Kramer, Cootway, Dubois, 1 through 3. Then it will be Ullenbrock, Fullman, Gerhardt, 4 through 6. Cornell, McCarthy, Voles, 7 through 9. We'll meet the starting pitcher for Norbert in just a little bit. So we get set for baseball. Litke winds, right-hander's first pitch is down and in. We are away. First pitch at 1 p.m. on the dot. Game time temperature 46 degrees here. Winds blowing out. Anything in the air has a very good shot at leaving the ballpark today. 1-0 pitch misses down. 2-0 from Litke to Kramer. Two balls, no strikes. The right-hander winds and deals. Pitch swung on and missed. He changed speeds there, and it's 2-1. Eric Kramer on the season making his 6th start, hitting .421 on the year. He's 8 for 19 with 6 runs scored. 2-1 pitch to him here is a breaking ball that bounces in the dirt. Count now 3-1. Umpires for today's contest, it's Rodney Davis behind the dish. Bob DeLeonardis is on first for our crew today. 3-1 the count here to the opening batter of the ball game today. From Licky, it's swung and grounded towards Crater at third. He'll pick it cleanly. Couple steps, throws it across, and it's unable to be dug out. It'll be an E5, putting a runner on here to begin the ball game. So a runner on now. It will be Adam Cootway, the batter now. The third baseman hitting .342 on the season for St. Norbert. He's 13 for 38, has 10 extra base hits. So all but 3 of his hits this season have gone for extra bases. As the first pitch to him misses outside for ball 1. The St. Norbert team hits .279 as a group on the year. They pitch to a 6.94 ERA as a whole. Kick the 1-0. Runner goes. Swung on and missed. Wallace's throw to second is not in time. It was a throw that was on the money to Jacob, but it was just a touch late. Kramer with the stolen base. That's the third stolen base of the season for Kramer. Now a runner in scoring position with nobody out in the St. Norbert half of the first. Licky working from the first base side. Breaking ball grounded softly towards short. Sandoval unable to field it. It'll be an E6 that goes into left field. Kramer comes in to score. And CUC having defensive struggles right off the jump today, and it's quickly 1-0 St. Norbert. It would have been tough to throw him out at first.
First baseman number 2, Sebastian Dubois.
It'll be Dubois now the batter. Kramer in to score. It's an unearned run. As the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Ball wasn't hit very well by Cootway, but it was a play that Sandoval came running in on, just wasn't able to field it cleanly as it ran up his arm. So run in, nobody out with the runner on first as they take a check at the runner over at first. Sebastian Dubois is hitting .378, tops among qualifying hitters for this St. Norbert team, making his 12th start of the year. Hitting .378, he's 17 for 45 as they check on the runner again. He scored 7 runs, has 7 extra base hits on the season, has driven in a team-high 17. He's the only Green Knight that has double-digit RBI. Back here in River Forest, so sorry for the technical difficulties. A bunt single just got Owen Brock on board. Bases loaded, nobody out for St. Norbert. They threatened for a lot more in the inning as the first pitch is swung on and missed. Batter is Fullman, the left fielder. So not quite sure. I didn't see what the argument came from. Mike Wallerick arguing that there should have been a balk on the pitch. 0-1 the count either way to Fullman. Fullman hitting .412 on the season, has driven in 5 as the 0-1 is swung on and missed. Quickly 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Big pitch from Licky. Just off the outside corner. Count now 1-2. Cougars have struggled defensively. 0-1 the count here. The 0-1 in the dirt. Runner had left on the pitch. It'll be a stolen base for Fullman. 2-0 St. Norbert leads it here. Now runners at second and third with 1 out. Gerhardt the batter. Gerhardt hitting .244 on the season, making his 12th start of the year. He's 10 for 41. This one is off the outside corner. Might have been a touch up. Count now 2-1. 2-0. St. Norbert leads it. So glad you could join us here. Sorry about the early difficulty. Should have it all worked out now. Wind in the 2-1. Called strike. Inside corner at the knees, and it's 2-2. Licky trying to limit the damage in the inning. Wind in the 2-2. Swan and popped up in fair ground. Long run. Sandoval over there is there to make the catch. Faking and deciding not to go is Dubois over at third. 2 outs in the inning now, and it will be up to Cornell.
Batting seventh, designated hitter number 19, Trevor Cornell.
The DH for St. Norbert hitting .273 on the season, making his 9th start. Has a couple runs scored and 3 RBIs. Licky trying to escape further trouble in the first. 0-0 pitch, catches the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. This doubleheader was scheduled for Saturday, but rain, snow, sleet, and just awful spring weather made that get pushed to today. As the 0-1 breaker misses outside, now 1-1. Cougar softball was unable to get their game in today. They'll play Carthage later this week, weather permitting. Cross your fingers and say whatever you want to whoever is going to keep the weather good. 2-1 now as that one missed down and in. A lot of pitches for Licky here in the top of the first. He's thrown 25 so far. Wind in the 2-1. Swung on and grounded foul, and it will stay fouled. Picked up by Crater. Count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runs in a deuces wild situation here in the top of the first. St. Norbert looking for more. They got off to a 1-0 start, or a 1-1 start in conference play with a solid split against Aurora. Game 1 came in walk-off fashion on a 3-run homer. Game 2, Aurora came back and was able to salvage the split. We'll catch you up some scores around the NAC as conference play got underway yesterday. On a expanded NAC schedule this year as the 2-2 misses outside, now 3-2. Teams will be playing 24 games in conference play this year with the addition of St. Norbert and IIT a few years ago. So a healthy slate of conference games upcoming here for all these teams with not a lot of time left. There's going to be some condensed pitching staffs as the 3-2 pitch misses outside and the bases are loaded again. 8th batter in the inning to the plate for St. Norbert. It'll be the right fielder, Keegan McCarthy.
Batting 8th, the right fielder, number 22, Keegan McCarthy.
McCarthy hitting a .111 on the season. He's 2 for 18. Does have an RBI as the first pitch is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Long top of the first, but if you're the Cougars, I would consider it a win if you can keep the damage just to 2 runs in the inning. The 0-1. Good fastball on the outside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes from the Cougars senior right-hander. Bases full of Green Knights. The big pitch. Swung on and missed. He got him with a pitch down, and that will do it for St. Norbert in the first. In the inning, 2 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 errors and 3 left on. We're through a half inning. Your score, St. Norbert 2, Concordia coming to bat.
2 runs on 2 hits.
Back here in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. So glad you could join us. It'll be Hatton, Wallace, Maynard 1 through 3 for Concordia. Then it'll be Mariotti, Hickman, Jacob 4 through 6. Then Dewey, Crater, and Sandoval 7 through 9. Hatton to lead off against Trevor Reinhardt, the junior right-hander for St. Norbert. St. Norbert leading 2-0 as the first pitch is delivered on the outside corner for a called strike. Setting up the defense, it'll be Fullman, Kramer, McCarthy from left to right. Cootway, Vols, Ullenbrock, and Dubois from third to first. Reinhardt is your pitcher, and Gerhardt, a nice little play on words there, is your catcher, as that one's fouled out of play, and it's quickly 0-2. Trevor Reinhardt on the season, making his third start, fourth appearance overall, has a 6.75 ERA and 10 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed 16 hits, 8 earned runs, with 3 walks and 5 strikeouts. Opponents batting .381 against him. 0-2 to Hatton is high and tight. Count now 1-2. Cougars trying to answer back after St. Norbert picked up a couple unearned in the top half of the first. On a cool, windy day here in River Forest. 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good hold by Hatton. Now 2-2. Hatton on the season for CUC hitting .333, appearing in his 12th game of the season. He's 14 for 42 with 9 runs scored. Has 5 extra base hits to his credit, including a triple yesterday against MSOE. As a 2-2 misses outside. Gerhardt tried to frame it. The count runs full at 3-2. Cougars in the home pinstripe uniforms today with the maroon numbers and gold trim. St. Norbert in the green hats with the all-gray jerseys with gold numbers and the forest green piping. Winding the 3-2. Swan and hit down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It will. It'll roll into the corner. Hatton will cruise into second with a stand-up double, and the Cougars get things going offensively right away. So with a runner on second and nobody out, it'll bring up Colton Wallace, the catcher. The junior hitting .306 on the season, has settled into the starting catching role. Did not catch at all early in the year, has a lot lately, and he's done well offensively, hitting .306. He's 11 for 36 with 8 runs scored, has 3 homers to his credit. Dangerous hitter in your 2 spot if you're Coach Colin Connor and the Cougars. Trying to answer back now after giving up 2 in the first. This is a Cougar offense that looks to get things going a little bit more. They hit .259 as a group so far this season. This is a St. Norbert pitching staff that opponents are hitting .331 against, as that one's a called strike at the belt. No balls and a strike to Wallace. Kick in the pitch. Swung on and missed. He was laid out a pitch upstairs. Count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to Wallace. Hatton the runner on second. Long pause, kick the 0-2. Inside, it got away from the catcher. Hatton thought about it and then pulled back. I thought for a second that it hit Wallace. Apparently it didn't. Ball and 2 strikes now to the Cougar catcher. This has been a situation that CUC struggled in this season. As a team with runners in scoring position, they're hitting just .244 as a group. They've gotten a lot of runners on. If you look at it from the leadoff perspective, leadoff hitters in innings, CUC hitting .429. That means 4 or 5 times out of the inning as that one swung on and missed. First strikeout for Reinhardt. First out of the inning with Hatton still on second. He'll bring up Gary Maynard, the Cougar right fielder. But CUC gets on base. That nobody will argue that. It's the fact that they have to start bringing some of these runners in. Gary Maynard, the batter now for CUC, hitting .250 on the year. Has an opportunity to get CUC on the board with Hatton at second base. As that one's a called strike, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike, one away. Kick in the 0-1. Swan off the end of the bat, foul, and it's quickly 0-2. CUC trying to answer back after St. Norbert picked up 2 in the top half of the first. So we just get it underway with our doubleheader here in River Forest today. CUC will be back here now, what we will say later this week when Lakeland comes to town on Saturday afternoon. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Maynard, kicking the pitch. Breaking ball down. Did he go? No, he did not. Now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the Cougar half. Mariotti due up next. Then Eli Hickman, if we get that far in the inning. Kick in the 1-2. Missed outside. Now 2-2. Gerhardt works hard behind the dish, working to frame pitches. He presents it well to home plate umpire Rodney Davis. It's a trait in the catcher that they look for across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Kick in the 2-2. Swung on and missed. He changed speeds on Maynard there, and he came up empty. Second strikeout of the inning now with Hatton still at second. They'll bring up Brody Mariotti, the first baseman. This is a St. Norbert pitching staff that does not strike out a lot of hitters. Came into today in 96 innings pitched with just 48 strikeouts. So you're looking at 1 every 2 innings coming into today. CUC offensively has struggled with the strikeout this season. Have now struck out 118 times as a group. First pitch to Mariotti, misses with a fastball, and it's 1-0. If you're CUC, that runner, I know it's in the first, but it means a lot to try to snag a little bit of momentum back after St. Norbert put up a pair in the top half. Kick in the 1-0. Swung and grounded towards short. Fielded cleanly. Coming up and throwing it across in plenty of time is Vols. So the Cougars come up empty. They leave the leadoff double stranded. No runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left. We're through 1 complete. Your score, St. Norbert 2, Concordia nothing. Back here in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Selner on the Cougar Sports Network. So glad you could join us here. It'll be 9-1-2 due up for St. Norbert in their half of the second. It'll be Nick Vols to lead off. Vols hitting 186 on the season, has appeared and started in every game this year for St. Norbert. First pitch from Licky misses down for ball 1. Licky threw a lot of pitches in the opening frame, threw 31. Didn't get a lot of help from his defense in the first, but has an opportunity to get things back on track here. A 0 would go a long way if you're a Cougar fan, as the 1-0 misses down, now 2-0. Nothing hit exceptionally hard in the inning against Litkey. Couple errors and a duck snort single into center were really the difference. 2-0 pitches down and away. Quickly 3-0 to the 9-hole hitting Vols. St. Norbert, a team that hits .279 as a group so far this season. As that one misses, and it's a 4-pitch walk to open up the St. Norbert half of the second. That'll turn the lineup back over to the top and Kramer.
Center fielder, number 43, Eric Kramer.
Kramer 0 for 1 on the day, reached on an error and later scored last half inning. Pitch is a called strike, nipping the outside corner, and it's 0-1. Get you caught up on some NAC scores from yesterday here in just a few moments. The St. Norbert team does not steal a lot of bases. They already have one today. They came in just 7 for 9, as this one is swung and ripped foul down the third base line, and it's quickly 0-2. Looking at some scores from yesterday, Benedictine swept Marion by scores of 5-2 and 7-1. Rockford and Edgewood split a pair. Rockford taking game 1, 5-2. Edgewood taking game 2, 10-5, as they check on the runner over at first. Lakeland and Illinois Tech only got one of their 2 games in yesterday. Game 1 went 13 innings in a game that Lakeland won on the road 9-8. And then the final series taking place yesterday was Dominican and Wisconsin Lutheran. Dominican taking both from WLC, as that one's fouled straight back. The Stars won game 1 5-1 and game 2 10-3. Still 0-2 on Kramer, with a runner at first and nobody out in their half of the second. Bunch of action going on today. Benedictine hosting a doubleheader against Lakeland. Aurora already up 5-0 on Illinois Tech. That game in the top of the second. As that one misses down away, delayed steal, throw down to second, isn't in time. It'll be a stolen base, the second of the day for St. Norbert. Fulls into scoring position now. 1-2 the count on Kramer. Concordia, Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Lutheran underway in Mequon. WLC leading that one 2-0 in the top of the third. Dominican and Marion also slated to play today out in Schaumburg. That'll round out everybody in action today in the NAC. The 1-2, swung off the end of the bat. Going to be a tough play. Racing in is Crater, unable to pick it up. It's going to be an infield single. Vols to third on the play. Everything coming up Green Knight so far today. It's just lined up perfectly now. Second time aboard for Kramer, first hit of the ball game for him. Third hit of the ball game for St. Norbert. Cootway will be the batter now.
Third baseman number 20, Adam Cootway.
Third baseman is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a run score, reached on an error in the first. They've already turned the lineup over here for the Green Knights. They take a check on the runner at first, and Kramer's back with a dive. No count on the batter. As they take another check on the runner over at first. Despite only having those 7 stolen bases coming into today, St. Norbert has already shown that they are not afraid to steal bases or put a hit and run on. They've done it a couple times already, and it's worked out in their favor. Kicking the pitch. It's swung on and lifted into shallow, now drifting into normal depth right center. There is Hickman to make the catch. Tagging and scoring easily on the play is Vols, and it's a sac fly for Cootway, and it's 3-0 St. Norbert. 10th RBI of the season for Cootway.
First baseman number 2, Sebastian Dubois.
So with a runner on first now and one away, it'll be Sebastian Dubois, the first baseman. Dubois is 1 for 1 in the ball game today. As they take a check on Kramer over at first. 3-0 St. Norbert here. Kramer already with the stolen base in the ball game. YCUC is paying a little bit more attention as the 0-0 misses down and away for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Kick in the pitch, Swan, and hit well to right. This one's trouble into the corner, and this one's gone. 2-run shot for Dubois over the fence in right, just tucked inside the right field foul pole, and it's 5-0 St. Norbert. For Dubois, that's his second homer of the year, now has 19 RBIs this season, and it's 5-0 Green Knights. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're a fan of the Green Knights here today. They picked up some momentum with the split over NACC favorite Aurora yesterday. They have not slowed down in the slightest. 5 runs in the first 2 innings, and there's still only 1 out. First pitch swinging and fouling away is Ullenbrock. 0-1 the count. Ullenbrock in the game is 1 for 1 with a hit, as that one misses in the dirt. Now 1-1. If you're Concordia, you are trying to keep this at a 5-0 game and let the bats get to work. Start chipping away at the early deficit. CUC nearly came all the way back against MSO yesterday in game 2. As this one's off the end of the bat, Lickey will field it himself, and it will be 1 unassisted. Find that one on your baseball bingo card. 2 outs in the inning now, and it'll bring up Luke Fullman, the left fielder.
Left fielder, number 27, Luke Fallman.
Fallman is 0 for 1 in the ball game. Does have an RBI. Reached on a fielder's choice last time and also stole a base. First pitch swinging and is fouled straight back and out of play. It'll be interesting to see today. It always is when you get to the back end of doubleheaders. Games 3 and 4 always get interesting when you're starting to talk about bullpens for either team. Now, if you're Concordia, you're going to try to let Lickey figure it out a bit just to try to get you some sort of distance. You're trying to keep some arms for the back end of this game. Hopefully that you're hopeful that your offense can get going. Still a lot of ball game left. 1-1 from Lickey is swung on good breaking ball. Now 1-2. Neither of the runs were earned against him in the first. All 3 of them earned against Lickey here in the second. The 1-2. Way outside. Now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuces wild in the top of the second. Winding the pitch from Lickey. Breaking ball missed down and in. Count runs full at 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes from Lickey. Trying to end the St. Norbert half of the second. Kicking the pitch. Swung in the dirt. Cougars will have to throw down to first to record the out, and they will. For Lickey, that's the second strikeout of the ball game. For St. Norbert in their half of the second, 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, no one left. We're through 1.5. Your new score, St. Norbert 5, Concordia 0. Back here in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network as we play on into the bottom of the second. It'll be 5-6-7. Hickman, Jacob, and Dewey due up for Concordia. Cougars had a leadoff double that was stranded back in the first. 1-0 the count here to Hickman. Hickman this season hitting .269, making his 9th start of the year. Takes that one down now 2-0. Is really started to solidify himself into that center field role in his sophomore season. Has a couple extra base hits to his credit as well. A speedy left-handed bat in the lineup as he takes that one on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 2-1. 5-0 St. Norbert leads it. A big 2-run shot by Dubois has extended that St. Norbert lead as this one's lifted into center by Hickman. Playable for Kramer, who moves a few steps in and is there to make the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 out in the Cougar half now with the leadoff man retired, and it will bring up Christian Jacob, the second baseman.
Number 2, Christian Jacob.
Jacob hitting .300 on the season, making his 9th start. He's 9 for 30 with 2 doubles and a run scored. First pitch swinging, and he hits this one into left. Playable, and there to make the catch is Fullman, the left fielder, and there's 2 away. Quickly 2 away in the Cougar half, and it'll bring up Nathan Dewey, the left fielder. Dewey hitting .128 on the season, making his 11th start of the year. He's 5 for 39 with 6 runs scored.
Left fielder, number 40, Nathan Dewey.
Reinhardt trying to work a quick half as this one's lifted into fair ground. On the infield, calling for it, and there to make the catch is Dubois, the first baseman. And it's a tidy 1-2-3 inning for Reinhardt and the Green Knights. In the inning, the Cougars go out in order. Your score after 2 complete, St. Norbert 5, Concordia nothing.
In order.
Back here in River Forest once again, it will be 6-7-8 due up for St. Norbert in their half of the third. Gerhardt, Cornell, and McCarthy. Vols, if we get that far in the inning, as the Green Knights lead 5-0 here. They have played 5 runs in the first 2 innings, 3 of those earned. Licky so far with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts to his credit today as he delivers a first pitch down and away for ball 1. Gerhardt 0 for 1. He flew out in his only plate appearance so far today. As that one misses down 2-0. Two balls, no strikes to count, kicking in the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back. Count now 2-1. Cougars need a 0 in the worst way here to stop the bleeding, already trailing 5-0 in the third. Two balls and a strike to count. Kick in the pitch. Breaking ball, good one in there for a called strike, and it's 2-2. No action in the Cougar bullpen. So as seen earlier, you get to the back end of 36 innings in 2 days. Pitching's going to get thin, so you need Licky to get probably 4 innings at least. to give you some sort of bridge to the bullpen, just to save an arm or two down the stretch. Count 2-2. Wind in the 2-2 from Licky. So on and foul straight back. We'll do it again at 2-2. St.Norbert as a team hitting .316 in leadoff situations this season. Gerhardt 4 for 10 as this one's off the end of the bat, dropping quickly, and it's in for a single and left. So Gerhardt aboard for the first time today. It will bring up Trevor Cornell, the DH.
Designated hitter number 19, Trevor Cornell.
Cornell walked in his only plate appearance so far today. Batting with a runner on first and nobody out in the Norbert half of the third. Again, nothing besides the home run ball has been hit hard off of Licky today. Just was an example on the last hit. It was off the end of the bat in the perfect spot, dropped in for the hit. No balls and a strike to Cornell from Licky. Kick and the 0-1. Bunt shown, pulled back as that one misses outside. Count now 1-1. One ball, one strike to count. As they check on the runner, and Gerhardt's back standing. 5-0, Green Knights. Threatening for more here in the third. Licky, a pitcher that usually gets a lot of ground balls, has not been the case so far today. As the 1-1, well outside, now 2-1. You'll wonder how long the leash is for Coach Colin Connor and the Cougars today. Licky already at 62 pitches in the ballgame. 2-1. In the dirt, gets past Wallace. Advancing on the play is Gerhardt. Count now 3-1. Three balls and a strike now. Gerhardt at second. Licky with the long pause, kicking the 3-1. Breaking ball missed well outside, and he lost him. Third walk of the ball game issued by Licky. Brings up Keegan McCarthy, the right fielder. McCarthy 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout.
Right fielder number 22, Keegan McCarthy.
Two on, nobody out. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. McCarthy with runners in scoring position this season is 0 for 4. Licky could desperately use a ground ball here. 1-0. Outside, now 2-0. Two balls and no strikes. Kick in the pitch. Well outside again, and it's 3-0. Licky came into today with just 7 walks on the season. Has struggled with his control here in the first 2+ innings of work. Kick in the 3-0. Missed outside, same spot, same result, and the bases are loaded. Fourth walk of the ball game issued by Licky. Loads the bases for the third time today.
Shortstop number 10, Nick Volz.
Batter now will be Nick Vols. The senior shortstop is been aboard once. He walked and scored back in the second. First pitch from Litke is down and away for ball one. Surprised nobody's been out to talk to Litke here in the inning. As the Cougars start to get somebody ready in the bullpen, as that one swung on and missed for strike one. Couple players making their way down to the CUC bullpen and right. Nobody doing so with any sort of urgency as the 1-1 misses in, now 2-1. St.Norbert threatening to blow this one wide open in the third. Corners up for CUC, middle's at double play depth. That one swung on and missed for strike two. Big situation here. If Litke can get a punch out here, punch out double play ball, all of a sudden you're out of the inning and can get a little bit of momentum. Right-hander winds the 2-2. Swan and lifted to left center. Tracking back, Hickman's there, will make the catch. Tagging and scoring is Gerhardt. Everybody else will hold, and it's 6-0 St. Norbert. For Vols, that is RBI number 5 of the season. 6-0 St. Norbert leads it. Now with runners at first and second and one away. And we'll go back to the top of the order. It'll be the center fielder, Eric Kramer. Kramer is 1 for 2 in today's ball game, has scored twice, and also has a stolen base. First pitch, breaker misses down and in for ball one. Ball and no strikes. Kick in the 1-0. Swan and hit down the left field line, but it will hook foul into the St. Norbert bullpen. Count now 1-1. Cougars trying to limit the damage here in the third. Ball and a strike, kick in the pitch. Swan and skied into center field. Hickman back, still tracking, now will camp under it and is there to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Hickman's been busy out there in center field today. I believe that's his 4th put out of the ballgame.
Third baseman, number 20, Adam Cootway.
2 outs in the St. Norbert half with 2 on. It will bring up Adam Cootway, the third baseman. Cootway this season hitting a .143 with 2 outs as he lifts this one into left center. This could be trouble. Hickman giving chase, and he'll watch it hit off the base of the wall. 1 run is in, a second run coming in. Into second on the play is Cootway with a double, and it's 8-0 St. Norbert in the third. McCarthy and Cornell were on their horse the whole way. For Cootway, he picks up RBIs 10 and 11 on the season, 8-0.
First baseman number 2.
It's all St. Norbert. Batter now is Dubois. Dubois with a homer already in the ball game today. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. First pitch from Litke's a called strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Kick in the 0-1. Missed down and away. Now 1-1. Ball and a strike with 2 away. Cootway, the runner, at second. 3 runs in the inning. St. Norbert's plated runs in each of the first 3 innings. This one swung and fouled back and out of play. Now 1-2. Cougars now have action in their bullpen. It's right-hander Wyatt McLaughlin getting loose. Probably the end of line for Litkey, who's about to throw pitch number 80 of the day. 1-2. Just missed. Count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Deuces Wild in the top of the third. St. Norbert leading 8-0 with a runner on second. Kick in the 2-2. Swan and spoiled foul. Dubois just getting a piece of it, and we'll do it again at 2-2. St. Norbert looking for their first true away win this season. They're 0-3 coming into today. As Northern baseball really starts to pick up. I mean, you just look at it. St. Norbert, this will be games 13 and 14 as the 2-2 misses in the dirt. Count runs full at 3-2. At the Division III level, you get 40 games. St. Norbert's played 12. They'll play 13 and 14 today. That means they have 26 games, not including today, to play in the next month. The 3-2. Missed down and away, and he lost them. Dubois aboard for the 3rd time today. Walk number 5 from Litkey. Puts 2 on now with 2 out. And it will bring up Ullenbrock.
Second baseman number 24, Kaden Ullenbrock.
The second baseman for St. Norbert is 1 for 2 in today's ball game with a ground out. St. Norbert dug out lively on the third base side, and they should be the way things have gone for them so far in game 1 of the doubleheader today. CUC looking for answers, trying to get out of this half of the third. Cootway at second, Dubois at first as the 0-0 pitch is outside from Litkey, 1-0. Right-hander just hasn't had his normal control today. Ball and no strikes, kicking the pitch. Swan and popped up on the infield. Playable for Sandoval. A few steps onto the outfield grass, and he's there to make the catch, and that will do it for St. Norbert in the third. In the inning, 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We're through 2.5 here in River Forest. Your score, Green Knights 8, Cougars nothing.
3 runs.
Back here in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner alongside our fantastic crew. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Concordia, trailing 8-0 here in the bottom of the third. It'll be Tyler Crater to lead off. As the church bells chime for 2 p.m. here in River Forest, the first pitch misses down to Crater, and it's 1-0. Crater this season hitting a $150, getting his 7th start of the year in his freshman campaign. As the 1-0 is a called strike. Now 1-1. Cougars with just the one hit so far, which came in the leadoff spot off the bat of Howie Hatton when he doubled. Since then, Reinhardt's really settled in, as this one's spoiled foul and out of play, now 1-2. Reinhardt set the last 6 down in a row since giving up that double to Hatton. One and two the count here to Crater. The pitch. Breaking ball, chopped foul on the third base side. We'll do it again at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Crater batting leadoff here for CUC in their half of the third. Kick the 1-2. Chased a fastball up and came up empty. Third strikeout of the ball game for Reinhardt as Crater is down on strikes. It'll bring up Jaime Sandoval, the shortstop. Sandoval hitting 185 on the season, his 10th start of the year. One out in the Cougar half. First pitch swinging, and Sandoval pops it up behind first base. Calling for it is Ullenbrock, and he's able to make the snag over his head for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs in the Cougar half, and I'll turn the lineup back over to the top and Howie Hatton.
Number 12, Howie Hatton.
Hatton is 1 for 1 in the ball game with a lone hit of the day for CUC when he doubled back in the bottom of the first. First pitch breaking ball is in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. McLaughlin continues to get ready in the Cougar pen. You would assume that the right-hander will be coming in next half inning for CUC. As this one swung and hit to left, and Hatton's got the bat going, his second hit of the ball game. So 2 hits for Howie Hatton, and it'll turn it to Colton Wallace, the catcher. Wallace 0 for 1 in the ball game. He's struck out in his only plate appearance so far today. Runner at first for Concordia with 2 outs. First pitch to Wallace is a called strike on the outside corner. It's 0-1. No balls and a strike. Only second time today that Reinhardt's had to work out of the stretch. As that one swung and fouled straight back. Count now 0-2. The Hatton single ends a streak of 8 straight sat down by Reinhardt. Trying to start a new one here. 0-2 the count to Wallace. Kick in the pitch. Swan and lifted to right center. Hooking into the gap, and that's going to be down for a hit. Running hard the whole way, it'll be a double as Hatton got held up at third. A good relay by St.Norbert. They probably would have had him at the dish. So a double for Wallace. Hatton to third on the plate, and he'll bring up Gary Maynard, the right fielder. Cougars have something cooking here in the inning. Maynard 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout. Cougars trying to get anything going offensively. First pitch in the dirt, good block behind the dish by Gerhardt. 1-0 to Maynard. Heart of the Concordia order due up now. Trying to chip away at an 8-0 deficit here in the third. Still plenty of ball game left, so if you can scratch a couple across here, you're in a great spot if you're a Cougar fan, as the 1-0 is in the dirt. Got away from Gerhardt for a second. It's a tough read for anybody at third base here at CUC Field. It's a short backstop with a brick backstop at that, that if it catches it right, I mean, it might be a hard ground ball for the catcher to try to get, because I've seen wild pitches end up all the way back at the pitcher's mound. I threw a couple back in my day. The 2-0. Missed upstairs, now 3-0. Three balls, no strikes. Major League was my favorite movie for a reason, and my father called me Wild Thing for multiple others, as he had to replace a garage door or two back in the day, as the 3-0's in there for a called strike. Count now 3-1. Big opportunity for Maynard and the Cougars to try to get on the board. Maynard with plenty of pop in that bat. Long ball would all of a sudden get the Cougar faithful back into it as well at 3-1. Swan and foul straight back at us. The count runs full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reinhardt gets his sign from Gerhardt behind the dish. Wind in the payoff. Swan and popped foul on the first base side, but it will drift harmlessly out of play, and we'll do it again at 3-2. Reinhardt has thrown a lot of strikes in the ball game today. Has now thrown 39 pitches, 28 of those for strikes. So good ratio, and it's worked out well for St.Norbert so far. Wind in the payoff once again. Swung on and missed. He gassed Maynard up on inside, and that will do it for Concordia in the third. In the inning, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We're through 3 complete here in River Forest. 8-0 St. Norbert. Back here in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner. New arm for Concordia on. It will be right-hander Wyatt McLaughlin on the pitch for Concordia. The sophomore on in replacement of Litke, whose day comes to a close. We'll get the final stats on Litke in a moment. He'll face 5'6", Fullman, Gerhardt, Cornell as the first pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Closing the book on Litke, the right-hander goes 3 innings, allowing 6 hits, 8 runs, 6 earned as that one's fouled off. 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 85 pitches, 44 of those for strikes. He gives way to McLaughlin, now in a 1-1 count to Fullman. As the 1-1 misses out. Now 2-1. Ullman is 0 for 2 in the ballgame with an RBI and a strikeout. Has also reached on a fielder's choice. 2-1. In there for a called strike. Now 2-2. McLaughlin on the season has an even 9 ERA, making his 5th appearance of the year. Has worked 5 innings, allowing 8 hits, 5 earned runs with 5 walks and 5 strikeouts as that one's fouled off. We'll do it again at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swan and lifted down the left field line, but it'll hook foul and out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. We play on in the top of the 4th of an 8-0 game led by St. Norbert. Kick in the 2-2. Big breaking ball grounded softly on the right side. Fielded by Mariotti. He flips it to McLaughlin, and I believe McLaughlin wasn't able to find the base. So we'll have a runner on. The throw was there in plenty of time.
Catcher number 21, Isaac Gerhardt.
So Fullman aboard. The catcher Gerhardt is the batter. We'll take another look at that one before we get you the scoring, as this one's lined into center field. Hickman giving chase, but it'll be down for a single. Second hit of the ball game for Gerhardt, and St. Norbert's threatening once again. Fullman to second on the play. It'll be Cornell, the batter now. Cornell is been aboard twice. He's walked twice and scored a run.
Designated hitter number 19, Trevor Cornell.
First pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. No balls and a strike. As that one misses down and in. Now 1-1. Kick in, the pitch down and got away from Wallace. Nobody able to advance on the play, though. Count now 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. McLaughlin could use a ground ball here. Kick in the pitch. Missed away. Three balls and a strike. As that one's in there for a called strike. Count runs full at 3-2. Big payoff pitch coming. Kick and the pitch. Swan off the end of the bat. Playable in left. Camping under it there is Dewey to make the catch for the first out of the inning. 1 out now, and it will bring up Keegan McCarthy, the senior right fielder. McCarthy is 0 for 1 in the ball game with a strikeout. Also has walked once and scored a run. One out in the St. Norbert half. Kick in the pitch. Big breaker in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Temperatures have dropped almost 10 degrees since this morning when the teams were taking BP. Temperature around 44 degrees now. It was quite a bit warmer when everybody was setting up for today's doubleheader. The 0-1. Swung and hit into center. Should be playable there for Hickman, who's there to make the catch for the second out of the inning. 2 outs now in the St. Norbert half, and that will bring up Nick Voles, the shortstop.
The shortstop, number 10, Nick Voles.
Voles has not registered an at-bat in the ball game, has scored a run when he walked, and also has a sac fly. Also has a stolen base to his credit so far today. Runners at first and second. Oh, pitch runs inside for a ball, 1-0. So we're going to have a change on the scoring decision on the play to Fullman. It'll actually be a hit. Looking at the replay via the YouTube, that he was able to, he would have beat that toss from Mariotti anyway, as the 1-0 misses upstairs, now 2-0. So 2 hits in the inning now for St. Norbert. They have 8 in the ball game to go along with their 8 runs scored. Two balls, no strikes to count. McLaughlin with the long pause, a couple looks to second, kicks in the pitch. Missed down and away, now 3-0. Voles just 1 for 14 on the year with runners in scoring position. As pitching coach Matt Smith wants to go out and have a word with his right-hander. CUC does have a lefty. It'll be Chandler Kerr getting loose down in the right field bullpen. Catching you up on some current scores across the conference. Aurora leads Illinois Tech 7-3. Concordia, Wisconsin leads Wisconsin Lutheran 3-2. So we get set back for action, 3-0 the count. Kick in the 3-0 breaking ball, missed up and away, and the bases are loaded with 2 away. That'll turn the lineup back over the top in Eric Kramer. Kramer is 1 for 3 in the ballgame with 2 runs scored. Reached on an error and scored back in the first. Scored another run, also has a stolen base. St. Norbert trying to add on. Score for their 4th straight inning as 0-0 pitch is in there for a called strike. Kramer has not batted with the bases loaded this season. St. Norbert as a group hitting .444. They're 4 for 9. In a bases loaded situation coming into today. As the 0-1 is a called strike. Now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Big pitch coming. Cougars trying to put up a 0. The 0-2. Breaking ball missed high and tight. Nearly hit him as Kramer ducked out of the way. Now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Kicking the 1-2. Swung and missed. A big fastball there from McLaughlin. And that will do it for St. Norbert in their half of the 4th. In the inning, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave them loaded. Your score after 3.5. St. Norbert 8, Concordia 0. Back here in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. So glad you could join us here. It's 8-0 St. Norbert here as 4-5-6 come up to the plate for Concordia in the fourth. Brody Mariotti, the first baseman, to lead off. First pitch break here is in there for a called strike. Mariotti 0 for 1 in the ball game with a ground out. Cougars have had a couple opportunities to get on the board, but have come up empty so far. Stranded 3 on base through their first 3 at bats as that one swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Looking for any sort of positivity offensively. Still a lot of ball game left if you're a Concordia fan. You want get a couple across here in the next inning or two, and all of a sudden you're back within reach as the 0-2 is in the dirt, now 1-2. All starts with getting a couple runners on. One ball and 2 strikes to Mariotti. Reinhardt at 43 pitches on the day. As the breaking ball is grounded towards short. Bobbled initially, recovering. Voles throw over, not in time. It's an E6, and Mariotti's aboard. Routine ground ball to Voles is in the play is unable to be made. 8th error of the year by the shortstop for St. Norbert. Puts a Cougar runner on, and it'll be Eli Hickman, the batter. Hickman is 0 for 1 in today's ball game. He's flown out. Mariotti, the runner on first. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. First of 2 games here in River Forest today. The Cougars close out the opening 4-game stretch of conference play. 1-0. Catches the outside corner. Count now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Kick in the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Hickman chased one down. Now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the Cougar center fielder. Trying to string it together a couple base runners if you're Concordia. The 1-2. In the dirt. Blocked initially. Mariotti now off on the play. Throw to second is late. And the Cougars have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Hickman. Reinhardt with the long look in, now readies. Kicks the 2-2. Swan and off the handle of the bat, foul straight back. We'll do it again at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Kick the 2-2. Swan and fouled off on the left field side. We'll do it again at 2-2. Hickman battling tough. Jacob Dewey up next in the inning for CUC. Then Dewey or Crater if we get that far. The 2-2. High and away. Count now full to Hickman at 3-2. Mariotti reached on an error by Voles, then advanced on the wild pitch into scoring position. 3-2 the count here. Kick and the payoff to Hickman, and it's a called strike 3 on the outside corner. 5th strikeout of the ball game for Reinhardt. Hickman down on strikes for the first time today, and I'll bring up Christian Jacob, the second baseman.
Second baseman number 2, Christian Jacob.
Mariotti still at second. Jacob is 0 for 1 in the ballgame with a flyout. First pitch swinging and it's popped foul and out of play straight back. Might even be on top of us. And it's just past the press box. 0-1 the count. One out, one away with Mariotti on second. Kick in the 0-1. Swan and grounded towards third. Fielded cleanly by Cootway. Throw across the diamond is in plenty of time. Mariotti had to hold his spot. Jacob now retired with 2 outs. It'll bring up Nathan Dewey, the left fielder. Dewey 0 for 1 in the ball game with a flyout.
Number 40, Nathan Dewey.
First pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Cougars trying to get anything going offensively that they can. Crater due up next if we get that far in the inning. Ball and no strikes. Kick in the pitch to Dewey. Fastball this time a called strike at the belt. Count now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike the count. Reinhardt, the junior from Fish Creek, Wisconsin. His season high in pitching this year came back on March 15th when he worked 6 1/3 as this one swung and fouled straight back. That came in a 4-1 win over Curry College. Ball and 2 strikes from Reinhardt to Dewey. Kicking on the pitch. Swan and hit into center. Dropping, but not quick enough. There to make the catch is Kramer, the center fielder, and that will do it for Concordia in the 4th. In the inning, no runs, no hit, 1 error, 1 left. We're through 4 complete. Your score, St. Norbert 8, Concordia nothing. Back here in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Selner. Wyatt McLaughlin on to continue to work for Concordia. He'll face 2-3-4, Cootway, Dubois, and Uhlenbrock for St. Norbert here in the 5th. 8-0. Norbert leads it here in the fifth as the first pitch is fouled off, and it's 0-1. Cootway is 1 for 2 in the ball game with a run scored. He has 3 RBIs and a double. Breaking ball hit towards third, fielded on a backhand. Throw across is in plenty of time from Crater to Mariotti. And the leadoff man is retired in the St. Norbert half. First time today Concordia has been able to retire the leadoff man for St. Norbert.
Number 2, Sebastian Dubois.
Batter now will be Sebastian Dubois, the first baseman. Dubois is 2 for 2 in the ballgame with 2 RBIs and a run scored. He has a homer and a walk also to his credit as the first pitch misses for ball 1. Kick in the 1-0. Swan and hit into center. Long run. Hickman tries to make a diving attempt and is unable to come up with it. He came a long way and he stays down as it looked like his wrist rolled up a bit. So it will be a hit for Dubois, his third of the ball game. And athletic trainer Owen Stiff out to check on the Cougar center fielder. We'll step aside and get you an update in just a few moments. You're watching Cougar Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network. Back in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. So glad you could join us. Eli Hickman is able to stay in this ball game after rolling up on that right wrist when he made the diving attempt. It's a single for Dubois. It'll bring up Ullenbrock. Ullenbrock 1 for 3 in the ball game today. First pitch way down and away. Delayed steal and off on is Dubois. 1-0 the count now with a runner in scoring position and 1 away. One ball, no strikes. Dubois at second. Mariotti a few steps up over at first onto the infield grass as the pitch misses down. Now 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 away. 8-0. St. Norbert leads it here in the top of the 5th. Game that started at 1 o'clock on the dot here in River Forest. The 2-0s lined back to McLaughlin. Throw to second to try to double up the runner, not in time. So Ullenbrock retired. Dubois still at second now with 2 outs.
Left fielder number 27, Luke Fowlman.
It'll be Luke Fowlman now, the batter. The left fielder for St. Norbert is 1 for 3 in the ball game today with an RBI and a strikeout. Also has a stolen base to his credit. First pitch is down and away for ball 1. McLaughlin trying to put up the second consecutive 0 for the Concordia pitching staff. Trying to give their offense a chance. Kick in the 1-0. In there for a called strike. Now 1-1. St. Norbert with 8 runs on 9 hits, 1 error so far in the ball game with 8 left on base. Concordia with no runs on 3 hits, 2 errors, and 4 left on base. Kick in the 1-1. Down and in with a breaker. Now 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. McLaughlin gets his sign ready. He's in the pitch. Swan and lifted to left. Could be trouble. A long run for Dewey and is unable to get there. It will be an RBI single for Fowlman, who's driven in another one today. His second RBI of the ball game. It is his 7th of the season, and it's 9-0 St. Norbert. Dubois in to score on the play. Second hit of the game for Fallman. Batter now will be Gerhardt, the catcher. Gerhardt is 2 for 3 in the ball game with a run scored and a flyout. First pitch is Swan and lifted into center. Playable as Hickman runs it down in the right center field gap, and that will do it for St. Norbert in their half. In the inning, they pick up 1 run on 2 hits. There are no errors and 1 left. We're through 4.5. Your score, St. Norbert 9, Concordia 0. Back here in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network as we play on into the bottom of the fifth. 9-0 St. Norbert leads Concordia. It will be 8-9-1 due up for Concordia. Tyler Crater to lead off. Crater in the ball game today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch is down and away for ball one. Reinhardt's been effective and has thrown a gem of a ball game thus far. Has now thrown 60 pitches, 41 of those for strikes in 4+ innings of work, as the 1-0 is fouled straight back, and it's 1-1. Looking at some of the scores as they come in around the neck right now, Aurora leads Illinois Tech 11-0 in the fourth. Wisconsin Lutheran leads Concordia, Wisconsin, as that one bounces in 4-3. That game in the top of the sixth. Then looking over in Lisle, Benedictine and Lakeland. That's a 0-0 game in the top of the third. They just started about 20 or so minutes ago, as this one's off the end of the bat, foul and out of play. Count now 2-2 to Crater. First of two games here in River Forest today. CUC will have the rest of the week off before they resume NACC play against Lakeland here on Saturday afternoon. The 2-2. Swan and hit well to center. Tracking back is Kramer at the wall. It's off the top, and it's out of here. Crater with a solo shot to center, and the Cougars are on the board. Solo shot for Crater is his first of the season. It makes it a 9-1 St. Norbert lead. See if that took the lid off of the basket for Concordia. Batter is Jaime Sandoval. Fourth hit of the ball game for Concordia. As the 0-0 pitch is in there for a called strike to Sandoval. First career home run for Crater in his first year campaign here in River Forest. 0-1 to Sandoval, inside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. Reinhardt responding well, throwing a couple good pitches for strikes after giving up the solo shot. It's definitely a little bit more comfortable if you give up the solo shot in a 9-1 game now versus a closer game, as that one's off the end of the bat, foul and out of play over the first base dugout, which houses CUC. No balls, 2 strikes. Wind in the 0-2. Called strike 3 as Sandoval was fooled. Strikeout is number 6 on the day for Reinhardt, and it'll turn the lineup back over the top and Howie Hatton. Hatton 2 for 2 in the ballgame, has 2 of CUC's 4 hits. Has a double and a single. One away in the Cougar half of the fifth, 1 run in. First pitch to Hatton misses just down for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Kick in the 1-0. Breaking ball in the dirt, now 2-0 to Hatton. Hatton, the senior, has been swinging the bat well for CUC. Had a triple yesterday. Wind in the 2-0 to Hatton. Down and away, now 3-0. Three balls, no strikes to count to Hatton. Cougars looking for base runners, trailing 9-1. As a 3-0 misses upstairs, and he walked him on 4 pitches. Better now is Colton Wallace, to catcher. Wallace is 1 for 2 in today's ball game with a double and a strikeout. CUC trying to pull a little bit closer here in the 5th. Again, you still got a number of outs to work with if you're a Cougar fan. Just start chipping away as this one's hit to center. Playable, though, as it was off the end of the bat for Kramer, who's there to make the catch for the second out of the inning. Hatton still at first. Now the batter will be Gary Maynard, the Cougar right fielder. Maynard 0 for 2 in the ball game with 2 strikeouts. Cougars trying to get some more offense going. Crater providing the offense and the only run of the day so far for CUC with the solo shot in the inning. First pitch breaking ball is a called strike, and it's 0-1 to Maynard. Hatton with a short lead over at first. The 0-1 outside. Now 1-1, and that pitch won't count because they called a balk. Count still stays 0-1. Hatton a second on the balk. 0-1 the count on Maynard. Now a runner in scoring position for the Cougar right fielder. On a cloudy, windy day in River Forest. Kick in the 0-1. Swung on and missed at a breaker, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reinhardt trying to work through the 5th. No balls, 2 strikes, kicking the pitch. Swan have fouled off the handle of the bat. Maynard stays alive. We'll do it again at 0-2. Hatton standing at second. Brody Mariotti due up next if Maynard can reach in the inning. Reinhardt with the long look in. Right-hander gets his side, now readies. Kick in the 0-2. Swan and grounded towards third. Fielded on a big hop by Cootway. Throw across in plenty of time, and that will do it for CUC in their half of the 5th. In the inning, 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We're through 5 here in River Forest. Your new score, St. Norbert 9, Concordia 1. Back in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Sellner along with our fantastic crew. Katie Shrem's on camera, Ryan McGee, our producer, Cindy Palaskis-Laher on stats and scoreboard. Glad you could join us here as we play on into the top of the 6th. Wyatt McLaughlin continues to work. He'll face 7, 8, 9 of this St. Norbert lineup, Cornell, McCarthy, and Foles. First pitch was swung on and fouled back for strike one. Cornell in the ballgame is 0 for 1 with a run scored. He's walked twice and flown out, as that one's in and out of the glove of Wallace. Count now 1-1. First of 2 games here in River Forest today. Second game will come up roughly 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one. The 1-1 down in the dirt. Now 2-1. Two balls and a strike. McLaughlin in relief today has now worked 2+ innings, allowing 1 run on 4 hits with a walk and a strikeout. Has thrown 39 pitches now, 22 of those for strikes. Cougars have had opportunities with runners in scoring position today. They are now 1 for 10 with runners on, as that one is a called strike. Count now 2-2. On the other side of things, St. Norbert is 7 for 18 with runners on, not in scoring position, but runners on. Either way, that's a good number to have. The 2-2. Swan and grounded back, fielded by McLaughlin on a big hop. He'll underhand it over to Mariotti, and there's one away. Just the second time today that CUC has been able to retire the leadoff man of St. Norbert. One out now, and that brings up McCarthy, the right fielder.
Number 22, Keegan McCarthy.
McCarthy is 0 for 2 in the ballgame with a walk and a strikeout. McLaughlin trying to put up another 0 for CUC, as this one is swung and lifted down the right field line, but it'll hook foul into the Cougar bullpen. Count now 0-1. Not as common anymore as new fields continue to be designed, where you see bullpens still in play. As more and more facilities get built, it's becoming more and more rare, as that one misses down for ball 1. Can speak from experience as a relief pitcher when I played here at Concordia during our time. It was absolutely terrifying to warm up. Because if you throw one away, as that one's fouled off, now 1-2. If you throw one away warming up down in the bullpen, it's going to come all the way to home plate. Then somebody calls time and everybody stares at you as you're the only one getting ready, standing on the rubber in the bullpen. Remember quite a few looks back then saying, are we really going to put this guy in? As the 1-2 misses down, now 2-2. So I can speak that one from experience. 2-2 the count here to McCarthy from McLaughlin. Kick in the pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. Big second out. Second strikeout of the ball game for McLaughlin. 2 away now. And it will bring up the shortstop, number 10, Nick Voles. Voles, without a registered at bat in the ball game, has walked twice and has a sac fly. Has scored a run with an RBI. Also has a stolen base. McLaughlin trying to work a 1-2-3 half for CUC for the first time today. First pitch breaking ball is a called strike, and it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. Wind in the pitch. Missed inside this time, now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, kick in the pitch. Breaking ball missed upstairs, now 2-1. Looking ahead to the Cougar half of the 6th, it'll be Mariotti, Hickman, and Jacob Dewey. Kick the 2-1. Swan and foul tipped into the middle. Wallace behind the dish. Now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. McLaughlin trying to work a 1-2-3-6. Kick in the pitch. Swan and grounded towards Sandoval at short. Fielded and thrown across in time, and that will do it for St. Norbert in their half of the 6th. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no one left. We're through 5.5 here in River Forest. Your score, St. Norbert 9, Concordia 1. Back in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Selner. So glad you could join us here alongside our fantastic Cougar Sportsnet crew. I'm CJ Selner. It'll be 4-5-6 due up for Concordia in the inning. Brody Mariotti to lead off. First pitch, breaking ball, Swan fouled straight back, and it's 0-1. Mariotti in the ball game today is 0 for 2. Has reached on an error and grounded out. Oh, 0-1 the count to Mariotti here as that one swung on and missed. He chased a breaking ball down, and it's 0-2. Looking at the line of Reinhardt so far, he's worked 5+ innings, allowing just 4 hits, 1 run. It came off the bat of Tyler Crater when he hit the solo shot to center in the 5th. With just 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. As that one misses down. Now 1-2, excuse me. Reinhardt's thrown 80 pitches now, 55 of those for strikes. Wind and the 1-2. Swan and fouled back. We'll do it again at 1-2. Mariotti, Hickman, Jacob due up in this half. The Cougars try to fight back into this ball game. The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Mariotti down on strikes. 7th strikeout of the ball game for Reinhardt now. 1 away in the Cougar half of the 6th. Better will be Elijah Hickman, the center fielder.
Center fielder, number 19, Eli Hickman.
Hickman is 0 for 2 in the ball game with a strikeout and a flyout. CUC needs base runners. Hickman shows bunt. It misses inside. Hit Hickman on the foot. And Reinhardt's asking if they're going to ask if Hickman was pulling it back. The first base umpire, Bob DeLeonardis, says that he was able to pull it back. Hickman getting beat up in the ballgame today. Had that play in center where he rolled up on his wrist, now gets hit on the back foot here. The Cougars get a 1-out base runner, and the batter will be Christian Jacob. Jacob is 0 for 2 in the ball game today with a ground out and a flyout. As Hickman gets checked on once again on the first base side. He'll stay in this ball game. He'll need an ice bath or two following this one. So the Cougars with a one-out base runner.
Second baseman, number 2, Christian Jacob.
See if the Cougars can string together a few hits here in the 6th. As this one swung and popped up into foul ground, giving chase, and it lands just over the netting here for strike one. No balls and a strike to Jacob. No balls and a strike. Kicking the pitch. Swan and hit to left. Carrying near the foul pole. It is just foul. Hit just about 2 or 3 feet left of the foul line and left off the fence. It's a long strike, and it's 0-2 to Jacob. For a second, you thought that one might have the distance. Jacob, one that's not known for his power. More of a contact hitter for Coach Colin Connor. 0-2 the count to him here. Hickman, the runner at first, with one away. Kick the 0-2. Breaking ball spoiled foul. We'll do it again at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Reinhardt with the long pause, now readies. Kicks the pitch. Runner goes. Jacob checked his swing, and the home plate umpire, Rodney Davis, said he went around. So Jacob's out on strikes. 8th strikeout of the game for Reinhardt. 2 outs in the inning now with Hickman at second. Batter will be Nathan Dewey. Dewey 0 for 2 in the ballgame with 2 flyouts. He bats with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Oh, pitch is down and away for ball 1. Expected for CUC, it will be Weston Stutzman who will get the ball to start game 2, which will come 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one. Kick in the 1-0. It's down and away again, now 2-0. Justin Bjorseff will be on the call for game 2. 2-0 the count here to Dewey. CUC still with 10 outs to work with in this one, trying to come back trailing by 8. As a 2-0 is a called strike at the belt. Count now 2-1. As most of the teams in the NAC are in action today, making up games that were all snowed out, sleeted out, or rained out on Saturday. Kick in the 2-1. Missed in the dirt. Now 3-1 to Dewey. If Dewey reaches, the batter would be Tyler Crater, who's provided the lone run for Concordia with a solo shot in the 5th. Be interesting to see for St. Norbert and head coach Mike Wallerick how long they let Reinhardt go, as he reaches just over 90 pitches on the day now, as there's 2 on now for Crater. No action as of yet in the St. Norbert bullpen. As Wallerick starts to look around, I think we're going to get some action very quickly.
Third baseman, number 52, Tyler Crater.
And Wallerick Alaric wants to go have a word with his right-hander. Batter will be Tyler Crater, the third baseman. Crater is 1 for 2 in the ballgame with a run scored and an RBI. Our next Concordia Chicago broadcast will come tomorrow afternoon when CUC men's lacrosse hosts Beloit in conference action. CUC baseball will be back in action on Saturday here when they have Lakeland come to town. It's a busy stretch here at Concordia as far as home broadcasts go. Besides Easter Sunday, we have home broadcasts the rest of the month. So we reach the home stretch of the 2021-2022 school year. Hard to think, not too long ago we were talking football weather. Now it's on the opposite side, it's spring weather. One of the last games of the year was St. Norbert and Concordia in football. It was a bitter cold day here in River Forest. First pitch to Tyler Crater is a wild one. It goes all the way to the backstop. Puts 2 now in scoring position for the Cougar third baseman. 1-0 the count to Crater as the Cougars try to inch a little bit closer. A long ball here, and all of a sudden you can start thinking comeback if you're a Cougar fan. Even something in the gap to get it, say 9-3. There's a little bit of glimmer of hope. Ball and no strikes, the pitch. Swung on and missed. Crater took a big hack and came up empty, and it's 1-1. One ball, one strike. Right-hander winds and the pitch. Swung and popped foul on the first base side. It'll drift out of play, now 1-2. Crater trying to stay alive. Sandoval would be due next if Crater can reach. One ball, two strikes. Reinhardt getting his sign for Gerhardt. The pitch. Down and away. Couldn't get him to chase. Now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Crater trying to pull CUC a little bit closer as a right-hander starts to get ready down in the St. Norbert bullpen on the left field side. The 2-2. Swung and lifted into shallow left. Playable, calling for it, and there to make the catch is Fallman for the final out of the inning. In the Concordia half of inning number 6, they get no runs on no hits, no errors, and 2 left. Your score after 6 complete, St. Norbert 9, Concordia 1. Back here in River Forest once again, I'm CJ Selner. As we head to the top of the 7th here in River Forest, is 9-1 St. Norbert leading it. It will be the top of the order due up Kramer, Cootway, and Dubois. As McLaughlin continues to pitch for CUC, he's done a great job coming in relief, allowing just one run over 2+ innings of work now as he delivers the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Kramer in the ball game today is 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Has struck it out, flown out, reached on an error, and stolen a base. 1-0 the count here. Kick and the pitch. Swung on and missed as he chased the pitch off the outside corner, and the count evens at 1-1. "51 pitches for McLaughlin. 31 of those for strikes, the 1-1. In the dirt, count now 2-1. Chandler Kerr, the left-hander, stirring about to start to get ready in the Concordia pen. 2 balls and a strike here. Kick the 2-1. Fastball runs inside, now 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike the count from McLaughlin. Right-hander way outside. And the leadoff man's aboard via walk. Kramer aboard for the second time today.
Third baseman number 20, Adam Cootway.
Batter now is Adam Cootway, third baseman. Cootway is 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs in the ball game. Has a run scored and a double. First pitch swung and lined into the glove. What a play by Crater. Throw across the diamond is well high. And it'll end up down the right field line. So it'll be an L5, then an E5 on the throw, allowing Kramer to advance. So now a runner at second with 1 away. And it will bring up Dubois, the first baseman.
First baseman number 2, Sebastian Dubois.
Dubois is 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored, 2 RBIs, a walk, and a homer. A full stat line there for the junior first baseman. First pitch misses high and away for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. As this one swung and grounded up the middle for a base hit. Hickman coming up, throwing. Throw coming in is going to be late. Throw to second is going to be not in time as Dubois slid to the outside part of second base and Sandoval wasn't able to put down the tag. Hickman might have came up and been able to throw him out, but he had a double clutch. He couldn't get a grip on the baseball out in center field initially. It'll go a RBI single for Dubois. His third RBI in the ball game, now has 20 on the season.
Baseman number 24, Keegan Mccarthy.
Batter now is Ullenbrock. He's 1 for 4 in the ball game today with a ground out and 2 flyouts. As Wallace and McLaughlin are going to have a word. 10-1, St. Norbert leads here in the top of the 7th. St. Norbert with 10 runs on 11 hits. They've left 9 on base so far in the ball game. Concordia with the 1 run on 4 hits. Have made 3 errors in the ball game. McLaughlin now at a season high 2 1/3 innings pitched. As the first pitch breaker misses outside for ball 1. McLaughlin's career high came last season when he worked 3 innings of scoreless ball in the loss to Rockford on May 9th. One ball, no strikes. Kick and the pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. Count now 1-1. One ball, one strike. Kick in the 1-1. Swan and lifted foul and out of play on the first base side. McLaughlin now ahead 1-2. Kerr now getting ready with some sense of urgency. Can't tell who's with him, but there's also a right-hander getting ready down in the pen. Ball and 2 strikes. Cougar right-hander with a couple looks a second delivers the 1-2 down and away. Now 2-2. Dubois at second with one away. McLaughlin with a long look in. Kick the 2-2. In the dirt, bounce in. Good pick by Wallace, and the count runs full at 3-2. By far the most pitches that McLaughlin's thrown. Now it's 64 pitches in the ballgame. Kick the 3-2. Swan and off the end of the bat into shallow right. In coming Maynard, and it'll drop in front of him for a base hit. That was a tough play off the end of the bat for Maynard. It'll be a single for Ullenbrock, his second hit of the ball game, and it puts runners at the corners with one away. It looks like we're going to have a pitching change here in River Forest. We'll set you up with the new arm in just a few moments. You're watching Cougar Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here in River Forest, once again, I'm CJ Sellner on the Cougar Sports Network. New arm on is the left-hander, number 13, Chandler Kerr. Junior coming on in relief of Wyatt McLaughlin. He'll face number 27, left fielder Luke Fallman. Fallman is 2 for 4 in the ballgame with 2 RBIs and a strikeout. As Kerr takes a check on the runner over at first. Dubois at third, Ullenbrock at first. Kerr on the season is 0-2, making his 5th appearance, has an 8.44 ERA, has worked 5 1/3 innings, allowing 5 hits, 5 runs with 2 walks and a strikeout. Runners at the corners with 1 away. Kick the 0-0. Breaking ball in the dirt. Good block by Wallace. 1-0 the count. One ball, no strikes, 1 out in the St. Norbert half. Cougars could use a ground ball here. Game that's just over 2 hours and 20 minutes old. This one's lined into center. Hickman back is there to make the catch. Getting doubled up and not realizing that there was only 1 out in the inning. The run comes in to score on the play. It's an 11-1 lead. The double play ends the inning, though. So the St. Norbert picks up 2 runs in the inning. They now lead 11-1 here. You're watching Cougar Baseball on the Cougar Sports Network. Back here in River Forest as we play on into the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Jaime Sandoval is a called strike, and it's 0-1 as Reinhardt continues to work. CUC needs to score a run to extend this ball game, trailing by 10 as Sandoval flies one into left. Playable in there to make the catch is Fullman for out number 1. With 1 out now, it'll bring up Howie Hatton, the Cougar designated hitter. Hatton is 2 for 2 in the ball game with a double and a walk. One out in the Cougar half of the 7th. Oh, pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. One 0 pitch to Hatton. This time catches the inside corner, and the count evens at 1-1. Reminder, game 2 of our doubleheader will be roughly 30 minutes following the conclusion of this one. Same two teams. Weston Stutzman expected to be the starter for Concordia, as the 1-1 just catches the bottom of the zone, now 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes to Hatton. Kick in the pitch. Swan and chopped foul and into the St. Norbert dugout. We'll do it again at 1-2. Reinhardt in line to pick up his first win of the season. Licky on the hook for the loss as it stands right now would fall to 1-2. Wind in the 1-2. Missed upstairs. Now 2-2 to Hatton. Reinhardt now over 100 pitches on the day. Has thrown a gem here for St. Norbert on game 3 of a 4-game weekend. 2-2. Swung on and fouled straight back and out of play. We'll do it again at 2-2. Final line on Wyatt McLaughlin in his relief appearance. He goes in 3 1/3, allowing 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned with 2 walks and 2 strikeouts through 65 pitches, 37 of those for strikes as Howie Hatton hits one into left, his 3rd hit of the ball game. So if you're a Cougar fan, you're just asking if everybody could copy the Howie Hatton approach, you'd be doing pretty well offensively today. He's got 3 hits. Batter now is Colton Wallace. The catcher is 1 for 3 in the ball game with a double and a strikeout. First pitch to Wallace misses up for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out in the Cougar half of the 7th. Kick in the 1-0. Swung on and missed. Chase the pitch down. Now 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. The pitch swung on and fouled off. Count now 1-2 to Wallace. Cooper Hines has stepped into the on-deck circle for Concordia. He'd pinch hit for Gary Maynard. He'll do that unless there is a double play ball. The 1-2 in the dirt. Couldn't get him to chase. Now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out in the inning. 11-1, St. Norbert leads it here in River Forest. Kick the 2-2. Just missed off the inside corner. It was close. Count now runs full at 3-2. Long pause, the 3-2. Swan and popped up. Playable in foul territory. Calling for it and making the catch is the first baseman, Dubois, and the Cougars are down to their final out. Hatton still at first, and we'll have a pinch hitter. It'll be Cooper Hines, pinch hitting for Gary Maynard. Hines getting his 8th appearance of the season. This will be his 10th at-bat of the year. He is hitting .222 with 2 hits. Has a couple RBIs and a couple walks to his credit as well. Pinch hitting for Maynard in the situation here. Reinhardt trying to get the final out and get St. Norbert a win in the opening game of this 2-game series here today. Kick the 1-0. Swung on and missed. He changed speeds on Hines there. Count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to Hines. One in there for a called strike, and CUC is down to their final strike. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Breaking ball misses down and away, now 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Hines. Kick and the pitch. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, and that's your ball game. St. Norbert winners here in game 1 by a final score of 11-1. Final totals in game 1 of our doubleheader today. For St. Norbert, 11 runs on 12 hits, 1 error, and 9 left on base. For Concordia, 1 run on 5 hits, 3 errors, and 8 left on base. Winning pitcher is Reinhardt, now 1-0. Losing pitcher is Lidke, now 1-2. In a game that took 2 hours and 32 minutes, St. Norbert improves to 5-8 on the year. CUC falls to 5-10. We'll step aside, get you set up with game 2 of our doubleheader in just a little bit. It'll be about a 30-minute break here in River Forest. You can find all the links at cucougars.com. For everybody at Concordia University Chicago and our fantastic CSN crew, I'm CJ Sellner signing off in game 1 here from River Forest.